Following blindly is, well, it's not a good idea. I know that seems obvious, but in crypto, a lot of people, including myself to some extent initially, do that, right? They go on YouTube, they find what they feel is probably a good YouTube channel. They start learning about crypto. They get to like certain YouTube channels. They Google different things, they find some blogs and various websites that they like, and they start, spending more and more time listening to these YouTubers and people that are writing content for websites, talking about Bitcoin or ETH or Solana or whatever crypto project or whatever narrative, niche, whatever it might be. And at some point, a YouTuber can end up becoming possibly your entire source of information for some people. And what then can happen is you can become kind of tunnel vision, right? And following blindly. And somebody might say, XRP is, it's going to be great. I'm not particularly bullish on XRP myself. I did hold it for a period of time and then I decided to get out. But the point is, just like they say, do your own research. Definitely do your own research. As cliche as that may sound, and may in fact be, you need to do at least some amount of your own research and take responsibility for what you're doing. One of the benefits to that is you can have more conviction in your choices, thereby quite probably leading to less volatility in your decision making as far as your trades and your investments. You also have to be careful in that process not to develop so much conviction that you are blind and deaf to potential negatives that could be a good reason to pivot to something else. So it is tricky. However, speaking from experience at this point, little under 2 years of experience in crypto at this point, I'm not one of these people that's been in crypto for 10 years and, I bought Bitcoin for $2 a Bitcoin and I've been retired for the last, 7 years. I'm not one of those people. But, I can tell you from having experiences and doing some research, there's a lot more research I need to do, but this is important that you definitely take to heart and you understand. I know it seems obvious, but sometimes things can creep into your mind without you really being conscious of it. You might not be thinking about it, and you might not realize that you're being influenced. And I'm not saying that somebody that you're watching has any sort of malicious intent. I'm not saying that, you're on YouTube, you're on X, and you're being manipulated by people that are just pump and dumpers. That is a danger, but that's not what I'm saying is for sure the situation that you're going to find yourself in. What I am saying is if you're not going out and looking through coin lists and looking through new projects and downloading white papers, possibly reading the entire white paper, but probably better still start with something like plugging it into Claude AI and having it assist with summarizing a lot of the major points, and then maybe thumbing through it, possibly reading the white paper in its entirety, possibly. That goes on to doing research and what I think is the most efficient way to go about doing that. So I don't want to go too deep there. But the point is that, yes, you should absolutely do research. And I'm making this video primarily because there are other people that say things like this, but a lot of the YouTubers that already have thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands of subscribers and large view counts, from what I've seen, and I've seen a lot of crypto YouTube, they don't spend enough time, in my opinion, talking to the person that's just now getting into crypto and helping them to really understand the kinds of things that they're going to be dealing with. So take myself, for example, if you had asked me what I thought of ETH 3 or 4 years ago, I would have said to you, I don't know what you're talking about. What is ETH? Okay, so I got into crypto, started learning something about crypto probably in something like April or May of 2022. So not that long ago. And then I first started dipping my toes into crypto in June of 2022 when I unfortunately made the decision to put some money into some cloud mining, which is a whole other story that I've spoken about a bit on some other videos. And then since then, I think in about April or May of 2023 is when I personally actually started putting money into crypto in the form of just buying crypto. So again, I don't have a real long history, and I know that that's going to make a big difference to some of you, and you're probably long gone already, but I'm telling you, you got to be really, really careful. And this is also why I'll make videos, talking about very simple things, in part to help folks out that I know, because I feel like at some point, some of the people in my life are going to say, what changed in your life? You went from supporting yourself to somehow having more wealth. Like, what's going on? And that goes into, I started learning about crypto. I started investing in crypto, started making money with crypto. And if they're interested, I'm going to have some videos to refer them to, in addition to having some conversations. But let's be real. If somebody isn't interested enough to watch a video or two at least, then, at that point, okay, I'm not going to spend hours or days or months talking to this person about crypto, unless you really wanted to for some reason. Anyway, be careful where you get your information, how you process that information. Make sure that you do some fact checking on information. It's okay and it's helpful to find crypto channels that you really like, especially if you find some channels that are giving you some good alpha. Same thing with X or whatever other platform or website or whatever. But ultimately, you're going to want to make your own decisions. It is very critical that you do this. If you've watched more than one or two of my videos, if you've watched this video even halfway through, which we're far further than halfway through at this point in this video, and if you're still watching this, then I gotta believe that you're either somebody I know that's just curious about what I'm doing, or you have a pretty strong interest in crypto. So if that's you, make sure that you're doing research in a lot of different ways, which we'll start to talk about in some upcoming videos, start taking a look at some tools and other things along those lines. So what do you guys think Bitcoin is going to be at around the halving of 2024? When I say around the halving, looking like it's going to be sometime in April. And personally, I'm feeling kind of bullish. I'm kind of thinking Bitcoin within 2 to 4 weeks before or after the halving. I think Bitcoin's going to be probably in the $50,000 to $60,000 range. And I think that Bitcoin is probably going to be $60,000 plus late summer, early fall. By the end of the year, I'm thinking Bitcoin's going to be, probably at least $80,000. And that's not based on a bunch of technical analysis. That's not based on a bunch of fundamental analysis. That's just me shooting from the hip. It's just a gut feeling. Let's see what actually happens though.